The Getaway was a PlayStation 2 exclusive developed by Team Soho, the same team who would go on to direct LA Noire under the new rebranding of Team Bondi. For people who might not know their history on the Getaway franchise, it was originally prototyped on the PlayStation 1 when head director Brandon McNamara was interested in the concept of an open world driving title. As technology grew, so did the Getaway along with it, eventually porting over to more capable hardware with the PlayStation 2 system. Sony Entertainment Europe originally began this game as a challenge to supersede Metropolis Street Racer, a Sega Dreamcast game that had reproduced the streets of central London. Team Soho was tasked with breaking the boundaries to create 16 square kilometers of London. This led to numerous delays, complications, and even bugs that warranted the re-release of the Getaway later down the line. However, the open-world crime drama did release on December 2002 in the EU and a month later in the US to average reception. Personally, I love the Getaway series. While the sequel is less than stellar, it's like seeing Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in video game formats. It has good merits like an incredible amount of realistic banter between some of the characters. What hurt the Getaway is most certainly its top competitor at the time, which was Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto blew the Getaway away, technically. No pun intended, but it's certainly true that Rockstar is at the top of their craft when it comes to open world crime-ridden bouts of fun. There's a few past E3 trailers that show some stuff with a possible lead in the Getaway 3, and tech demos of Piccadilly Circus, as a bit of a concept to what the game entailed. However, it was Nicolas Doucet that put the final nail in the coffin of all hopes and dreams of Getaway fans. He stated that Sony Studios in London shifted more focus to iPad and SingStar products. Ultimately, the Getaway 3's fate came to a close after the change of so many presidents and the lack of news, and it has since fallen into obscurity. There's a few reasons I have to list why I think a Getaway revival could work to the benefit of Sony, especially with their plentiful lineup in the modern era that keeps people buying their consoles. Number one is that Sony will have an exclusive deal, an exclusive franchise that's varied again to pertain to the open world criminal format, since they don't have a lot of those. Since the deal with Rockstar Games giving exclusivity rights to Agent hasn't turned up much results, perhaps they could license the Getaway name back to Team Bondi and form a partnership once again. Despite what anyone says, LA Noire was certainly a win-win situation for the publisher Rockstar Games and the developer Team Bondi in terms of sales, in terms of performance, and in terms of reviews of the game. Number 2, Sony has been producing a lot of quality content, a lot of quality exclusivity that gravitates to stellar and compelling storylines. A few cases to note are The Last of Us and Heavy Rain. They are good cases, and The Getaway has a lot of potential to follow suit, with strong or deplorable characters entailed around the London underground that could make for very compelling results. I think if we were to talk story in The Getaway 3, then a good backdrop would be Leon the Professional by Luc Besson. This is where the criminal storyline is portrayed by a ruthless, cold-blooded assassin as an avatar. He slowly starts to change his ways in the story when he is in the presence of a female or a child he is destined to protect. On the other side of the equation, The Getaway is known for playing with the cop and the criminal, so when you get to that point and you want to play with the police officer, maybe they could change the storyline, you could partake in there, and there could be a twist with the cop where he wants to do right, but he fails, even more so seemingly in the line of corruption, which leads him to encounter the other main character countless times. It could be like a good or bad ending based on your events of the game, like the previous Getaway entries like Black Monday, where certain characters living or dying affects and changes the ending. And number 3 is the final point of this video, and that is London is ripe for the taking. The technological graphical leaps are only getting progressively larger now with the PlayStation 4 Pro, so I think more significant accomplishments in terms of graphics and performance and expanding the cityscapes in certain games can push the limits of their engines. I even think that Team Soho didn't accomplish their dream of 113 square kilometers of London, so maybe that could be a possibility in the 8th generation of consoles now. As for gameplay, I could say it's easy if you want it to be good and ironed out to a state of visceral affair that The Getaway is known for. I quite possibly would enjoy another Getaway game that is a complete reboot gameplay wise, because obviously games from 2002 doesn't play the same as games in 2016. So as long as they add on top of this with meaningful story elements and side missions to pad the content, then it will probably be more established and more better than the previous Getaway games. If there's one thing that the Getaway didn't do too well, is replay value. So as long as they pad the content and keep that high octane story element and realistic values to the Getaway with the no HUDs and everything, then I think that would be personally enjoyable. I love that addition, honestly, of the lifelike presentations and the real London actors portraying roles, so that would be pretty good to see in a Getaway 3. Until then, let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and take care.